Welcome back to the Mick Rabon Coaching Dynasty. We're here today. The Ohio Bobcats are now 5-3. 3-game winning streak. We've won the last 3. We looked pretty good doing it. We've got the offense going. We have this game against Buffalo coming up after our second bye week. But as we look at the top 25, you can see it's starting to take shape a little bit with Ohio State, Georgia leading the way on top. Oregon State at 8-0 as well, same with Auburn. We'll see a lot of shakeup in the top 25 in this video, that is for sure. Especially the playoff will start to take shape a little bit. And we are going to see some of the games from this week while we are on the bye. We just get to sit back, relax, and watch some good football as we see USC goes into Oregon State, upsets the Beavers. The once undefeated Oregon State team falls, and USC gets the big win. Then Michigan State and Michigan, a big battle in the Big Ten East. We would see Michigan State prevail. The Wolverines fall, and likely their playoff chances are over. Michigan State, big time win. Texas and Kansas, the Longhorns looking to stay undefeated. Quinn Ewers looking downfield, making the big play, and Texas was able to take advantage of this Kansas team. It looked pretty good, but Texas prevails. And then Wake Forest and Syracuse. Wake Forest has had a great season led by Sam Hartman, but Syracuse had other plans on the kickoff return here, getting it down to about the 20-yard line. This time, finding the end zone, touchdown Syracuse. Last chance here for Wake Forest. Hartman looks, and he's stopped just short. Nothing doing. And then, huge battle, Auburn and Arkansas. Two of the best run offenses in the country battling it out. Two of the best teams in the country battling it out. Auburn's one loss was to Washington. Auburn striked first, and then Arkansas would answer. Auburn, last chance here, trying to get it, and they get stuffed as well. Not once, but twice as the Arkansas defense prevails. And Arkansas stays with just one loss and a big win in the SEC West. And in the SEC East, we saw Florida and Georgia slugging it out. Stetson Bennett here finding the end zone, and then Anthony Richardson, Florida, needing to get in field goal range, and they do. Getting it down to the 30-yard line from there. A field goal for the win. It was good. And the Florida Gators would upset Georgia 34-31. And the Dogs go down for the first and only time this season. Unbelievable upset, unbelievable week of college football leading to a lot of shakeup as we now look at the top 25. Ohio State sits at number 1, but they do play Michigan State this week, so that'll be a big game coming up. And then Texas, Utah jumps up now with their one loss being to Oregon State. Arkansas jumps up to number 4 after beating Auburn. NC State jumps up. Michigan State obviously jumped up. Auburn only slips a little bit. Same with Oregon State. They're still in the hunt. Alabama's sitting there creeping in the top 10. Miami still with a chance. Georgia, obviously, even with the loss, still has a pretty good chance to make the playoff. If they win out, they'll have some big games down the stretch. Kansas State is the only team that is lingering, but they do have one loss, and it was to Texas. And in this game, Big 12 doesn't have a championship game, so nothing we can really do there about it. But as we look at the rest, and we'll take a look at some of the conference standings, NC State currently is on top. They do have the head-to-head against everybody, but these teams actually do play each other, and you could see some interesting scenarios shape up. As we look at Louisville's schedule, they actually have a chance if they win out to take care of business and win that side of the conference. But other than that, it would be NC State that would prevail. Miami currently looks like they have that side locked up. Texas looking pretty good in the Big 12 as their only loss is to nobody. But Kansas State was the one loss, so nothing really doing there. Ohio State, Michigan State play this week, and that will be the battle for that side of the Big 10, barring a collapse from one of the teams. And then Illinois, Purdue, really the only two teams that have a chance here. So the Big 10 West will be decided when those two end up playing as we look at their schedule, as number 15 Purdue will play, but Ohio State before then. Big time shakeup possible in the Pac-12. Oregon State looks like they have it on top, but Oregon and Washington still to play. So a lot of shakeups that can still happen here as Washington and Oregon both still have a chance. And then as we see, Oregon does play Utah as well, so that could be a tough game. All these teams, again, have a chance, just looking at their schedule. Utah's kind of got it wrapped up as they've beaten UCLA and USC. The only two teams with a real chance, but Arizona State lingering does have a chance to jump them if they do win. And then Georgia looks like they have it locked up, but I guess we don't really know. And Arkansas currently has the big lead in SEC West after the win over Auburn, and they've beaten Alabama, who has 2 losses. So they look like they're in pretty good shape there. The Heisman, Deuce Vaughn would be your winner right now. Kansas State running back, they are only with one loss, still sitting there with a chance. They've had a great season. He's had a great season. KJ Jefferson right behind him. He would probably be my Heisman favorite, but as we look, we have a chance to go to the MAC championship as we look at the MAC West, but the MAC East is why this is such a big game for Ohio today. Buffalo currently sits on top. We have lost to Akron, so they do have the head-to-head against us, so we do need Akron to lose at some point, but Buffalo, if we can beat them, we can have the head-to-head and a chance to control our own destiny. Besides, obviously, Akron, we do still need Akron to lose, but this is a huge game. They are 6-2. They are probably the best team in the MAC, but we have been playing like certainly one of the best teams in the MAC. As we look at who they've beaten, it's pretty much everyone. Obviously, only 2 losses, and if we take a look at their roster, we notice that they're pretty weak on the edges and they're pretty strong up the middle. Good D tackle, good 80 overall middle linebacker as well, 86 overall to be exact. But if we look again, linebackers not great, corners are pretty good, they're pretty solid, above average in the MAC, but safety's also not that good. So what we're going to try to do is just get the ball to the outside, run the ball to the outside, throw to the ball to the outside, and try to go deep every now and then. We have the receivers that can make plays, and O'Shawn Allison has been a star. The running back has made some big-time plays. So, starting this game, we had the ball and a quick 3rd and 9, but Rourke didn't get off to the best of starts. So, that was something we had to struggle with and kind of battle through. Set up some easy throws here. Give this one to Allison. He's got just enough speed to get the first down for us in the game. And then on 2nd and 2, giving him on a nice handoff to the outside. Good few blocks, and we got the nice gain of 4. Then on a 3rd down and 8, trying to make a play, but Rourke just can't fire accurately, and we would be forced to punt. They would end up scoring, so it's 7-0, and then on 1st and 10, this time getting it to Miles Cross over the middle. We would now officially be in field goal range in 3rd and inches. Allison would just get a 1st down, just enough to keep the drive alive, but on 3rd and 13, Rourke would get drilled as he's about to throw. Offensive line has been a struggling factor this entire season, but kicker up, kicker good, field goal 7-3. We take over. We've had some pretty good field position thus far to start this game. Rourke this time firing over the middle. He's got Walton. Walton's got it again into Buffalo territory. Trying to get the ball to Allison on the outside, and we do. He cuts it up. This time plunging his way for a nice gain of 10, and then on 2nd and inches, we just need a yard, so we will give it to him at the middle. And look at him, breaking tackles, shedding his way for 11. This time again, it's Allison. He's just going to keep making plays, man. He's been so good on the ground. We've been relying on him in the past few games, and he continues to pull through. What a drive. Literally led by the man himself. And we had a 10-7 lead. This time a nice read option from Rourke would get us the 1st down. A dangerous run there. And the quarterback almost shocked he didn't fumble. This time a nice screen setup for Walton. As we said, we want to get the ball to the outside. We have playmakers to do it. Walton doing exactly what he does right there. Sam on a play action, getting it to Burton this time. The tight end stiff-arming his way inside the 10, and we've got a chance to score here. But on 3rd and goal, Rourke, he would find a man. It is Miles Cross over the middle this time. Dangerous throw. Can never really trust Rourke to make some of those throws, but he's had a pretty good start to this game. Started off really bad, but he's really pulled through in the 2nd quarter. Now here late in the 2nd quarter, trying to make a drive to get some more points. We've got a nice 10-point lead, but why not make it bigger? Rourke this time back to throw, looking, firing, and he throws a pick. It's McNair picking it off this time. Boston can't bring him down. Trying to chase him down the O-lineman. He can't get him, and he's gone. It's a pick 6. Feels like every time on these drives, right down at the end of the quarter, end of the half, we try to force it, and ends up always biting us in the butt. 17-14 now. This time, Allison's going to take this one to the outside and go nowhere. So we would just go into the half and take the lead, and we would have the ball to start anyway. But the first play would not go as planned, as Rourke would stumble his way out of bounds, losing 11 on a broken play. But on the next play, Rourke gets drilled and gets it to Bostic just in time. So setting up a 3rd and 4. And we give it to Allison on the 3rd and 4, giving it to him up the middle. The offensive line has been able to block and make plays. Hasn't really been much of a factor no matter how we get him the ball. Rourke this time scrambling out, having a wide open Walton. Just can't hit him. Rourke this time firing again, and again incomplete. The accuracy, as I said, has always been a struggle. Continues to be in big moments, and we lost the lead. 21-17. And a nice big play here to Miles Cross as we get a little bit lucky. Face mask on the play will bump it by another 15. So a big 3rd down conversion when we needed it the most. Rourke this time would take it himself on first down, get the first down. He's been solid in those scrambles when we need him to. Rourke this time back to throw, dumping it off to Wiggless, and Wiggless, nice little move to wiggle his way down inside the 10, and then on 3rd and goal, Rourke firing wide open. He's got Bostic, 6-yard touchdown, and Ohio would retake the lead. But they would come back and answer with a touchdown of their own. However, they would miss the PAT. So, it's only a 4-point game. We get sacked. 3rd and 18, we'd work to make a play. He fires, just finds Miles Cross. He's had some clutch throws when we needed him to. We're here late into the 4th quarter. Rourke this time rolling his way for a first down. We're just trying to keep the ball. That's all we're trying to do. 3rd and 11. Walton this time. He would just be a yard short. And 4th and 1. We need it here. This time, trying a little read option. Rourke, no, flips it. And he gets it to Bangura, who gets the first down. Oh man, Rourke was going down. Just flipped it out. Just getting the first. Kind of lucky, to be honest. 1st and 10 this time. Rourke's hitting him a screen. It's Bangura again. If he gets around a man, he's got some blockers. He's got some space. Bangura to the end zone. It's a touchdown for Ohio. What a big time play when we needed it the most. And we would retake the lead 30-27 thanks to this Bangura catch and run. Nice blocking downfield to set that up. But they would not answer. So we do have a chance to run this clock out. Bangura, give it to him. And he's going to go plow his way across the 50 for a first down. Then on 2nd and 1, try a little reverse, and it's Walton this time. He gets pushed, but still finds his way across. And now they've got to use all those timeouts. Can we get them to use the last one? We can, with an O'Shawn Allison first down. And that would be the game. We would pull this one out ever so barely. A nice little screen was the winner of this one. And Curtis Rourke, who started pretty inefficient, couldn't hit some throws, but man, that's one of his better games he's had in terms of efficiency. 21 of 32, 263, 3 touchdowns. Gotta love the quarterback making plays. Running the ball, Allison getting another 100-yard game and a touchdown for us. Had some big plays on the receiving end, whether it was Miles Cross, we saw Bostic, and then Bangura obviously on the screen, making the biggest play of the game. And we were able to pull out the win. So, the rest of college football obviously had games, and it was again Arkansas this time getting a big-time win over a ranked Ole Miss team. Arkansas continues to be one of the best teams in the SEC. And then it was Ohio State and Michigan State in a huge game in the Big Ten, snowing in Lansing, but it was Trevion Henderson going all the way to the end zone, and Ohio State, this time CJ Stroud making the play. The Buckeyes look pretty good, and they get a big win. And then it was Texas going into a snowy West Virginia, where they would get upset by JT Daniels in a stunner. And the Longhorns fall for the first time this season. So some shakeup already. The number 1 team ends up getting the win, but the number 2 team ends up falling as they fall all the way to 8. And now it's Utah sitting up at number 2, Arkansas at number 3, NC State 4, Auburn, Oregon State, Alabama, Texas, Georgia, Michigan State. You can see the rest. Pretty big shakeup in college football this week. But we move on to our next game where we have a very good chance at winning the MAC. We just got to win the games ahead of us. We're now 6-3. We've proven we're one of the best offenses in the country. And our coach, Mick Rabon, has proven he can take weak talent and make it pretty good. As we see, the talent of Bowling Green defensively, they have 480 overalls. They actually have a pretty good team. But we're going to try to use a lot of misdirection and keep our options open. That way we can try to target the players that obviously are not their star players. We've noticed that when we go at them, it doesn't really go well. And then obviously getting the ball to O'Shawn Allison. He's been the star of this team, and we need to make sure we get him as many touches as possible. So, starting this game, nice little screen to start, getting into Allison this time on the counter, getting the first, and then on 3rd and 1, go right back to Allison. We trust him on those 3rd downs. We don't have to rely on Rourke. In fact, we don't really because his accuracy is very inaccurate. This time, Rourke finding his man Bostic. Just as I say that, Rourke making a nice throw and a big-time play. 2nd and 10 this time, Rourke. Again, a little play action. We got crossing routes everywhere, trying to confuse them and just avoid those players with the big star underneath them. This time it was Rourke firing and finding Allison again, finding our star player, getting him into the end zone, and that was a quick touchdown led by Curtis Rourke. he has really kind of figured it out here later on in the season, and we figured out how to utilize him for his best as well. This time it was work on a nice little option, just enough to get the first. And then a nice little block on the outside gives Allison just enough space to break a tackle and get the first down for a quick 11. First and 10, Curtis Rourke back to throw, firing this one a miles cross, and he's got it. We're now in Bowling Green territory once again. 3rd and 6 this time. Rourke, just as I was taking shots at his accuracy, he has found the rhythm. This time it's Rourke. This time just trying to plow his way, getting a simple 9, but going down on the play would be our star running back, O'Shawn Allison. Just on a fake, he would get hurt. So it would be Bangura who would take over as lead running back in this game. Obviously, Bangura not as skilled as Allison, so we're going to try to rely on Rourke a little bit more. And look at the throw to Miles Cross in the back of the end zone. An absolute beauty over to the safety's head. Curtis Rourke has been very sharp to begin this game, so we're changing up the game plan. Let Rourke cook, but if Wiggles is going to drop passes like that, it's going to make it hard to move the ball. So we forced a punt on that possession, but on 1st and 10 here, play action, Rourke throwing off his back foot to Cac Merrick. What a play. Nice spin move, getting away and getting 15. What a throw, what a play by Rourke. He's really feeling it tonight. This time Miles Cross breaking a tackle. He's finding his way down to the 2-yard line. Now this gives us a perfect chance. Bangura has been in the backfield of pounding touchdowns earlier in the season. He does it again, and we would take a quick 21-0 lead going into the second half. We got 19 seconds, so we're just trying to run out the clock. This time it was Rourke finding his way. With 13 seconds left, I was like, you know what? Let's take a shot. So Rourke, back to throw, firing one. He gets it to Wiggles. Wiggles down to the 41 with 8 seconds. Can we get something? Rourke firing. He's got Burton. Burton's got it down, and we are in field goal range with 4 seconds left. What a 2-minute drive by Rourke, and we were able to get just some points right before the half. They would take the beginning of the half to get 3 points, but it's 24-3. We just got to keep it alive. Bangura making nice plays. We saw him get a game-winning screenplay. He, that time, takes it, makes a play out of it. But this time a terrible throw from Rourke, really on me. I mean, the guy did kind of jump it. He kind of had the space. I noticed I had somewhat of a window, but he kind of threw it a little bit behind him. It's one bad throw. He's getting up with a lot of interceptions on the season, but it didn't really end up hurting us. In fact, we would actually get the ball back because they would fumble it immediately on the second play of their possession. So this Bowling Green offense is really looking bad, and this talented defense, according to their ratings, not really looking at it. We're tearing them apart. This time it's Rourke. He's finding his way for another 18-yard gain. We're starting to run the ball. Rourke, he's just really feeling it, getting it to Bostic this time on the outside. Bostic fighting his way down to the 1-yard line. So we'll just give it to Bangura again, and he'll get another easy touchdown for us. So we continue this rampage of offense in this one. We really came into the good game plan, and we executed this time. Bangura, he's got the space to the outside. It doesn't matter who gets the ball. This offense has all the momentum, and they are just tearing Bowling Green apart. Rourke on the play action, rolling out, firing this time, finding Bostic. Another touchdown for Rourke. He's had one hell of a game. 19 of 25, 268. Man, he's really playing well. 38-3. We're just continuing to put it on. I know this looks really good for Mick Rabon. As the coach, we have really transitioned this Ohio offense. We're about to win 5 straight games, barring collapse, which I will, spoiler alert, tell you that it will not happen. This time, getting one more insurance touchdown never hurts with the starters while we're still here in the third quarter. It's been one of those perfect games where we've taken, again, this offense is a 68 overall. So for Mick Rabon and what we've been able to do to take over this team, and now we're sitting here at 7-3 after this game officially ends. We will be in prime position, maybe for a possible head coaching job. I doubt it. I know that it won't happen. But maybe an upgrade at the offensive coordinator position. Maybe we can get into the Power 5. The goal is to become the greatest coach ever in the short amount of time possible. I'm not trying to sit here in Ohio for, and rebuild the program. I'm not even able to recruit my own players. So I am just trying to get to the next job. I want to get a head coaching job as soon as possible. That is realistically the goal. And then from there, we'll be able to build our program the way that we want. As we see, Curtis Rourke, it was his game, 20 of 27, 3 touchdowns and a pick, 274. He's had pretty good season during this winning streak. And then it was Bangura, 144 yards. He broke out like a 38-yarder and a 41-yarder there down the stretch, and he really just took care of Bowling Green. We overall took care of Bowling Green. 261 yards on the ground is insane. 276 through the air is insane. We had a really, really good game. That's the kind of offensive performance that really puts your team over the top. So, we move on, and so does college football. Utah was playing Oregon in a big battle in the Pac-12. Oregon still had a chance at the Pac-12 North, but Utah decided to end that chance. Cameron Rising finding his way to the end zone. Big game in the SEC. Auburn, the surprise team of the century, and Georgia. This Georgia defense came out hot to start this game, but this Auburn running game is lethal. Tank Bigsby in the Heisman conversation, but this time back to throw, getting nearly picked, tipped away, and Georgia would prevail. And then Illinois and Ohio State. It was all Buckeyes to start this game with the pick here to start the game. Then it was CJ Stroud looking for the end zone. Julian Fleming in the end zone, easy touchdown. But Illinois wouldn't go away easily, pounding their way in for a touchdown. Ohio State, Trevion Henderson, he'll answer with one of his own. But then Illinois right back into the end zone. They would take the lead against Ohio State. But CJ Stroud would find his man down to about the 15-yard line. And then a field goal for the win. It was up. No! It was wide right. Ohio State, a chip shot field goal to win, and they blew it. Unbelievable upset, and the number one team in the country goes down again on this season. And it is official. There are no more undefeated teams in college football. Utah now sits atop as the number one team. Arkansas at number 2. NC State, Oregon State, Georgia there. Alabama somehow still lingering. I think Texas should and will eventually jump them. Same with Ohio State, even at that one loss spot. But an absolute shocker that makes no sense to me. And this entire season is just chaos. But it's so much fun, and that's why we love college football. And we're seeing a lot of teams that also aren't there, which is also pretty interesting. As next video, we will see a lot more about who are the teams that are succeeding with their coaches and which teams are not succeeding with their coaches. And we'll see what jobs might be open. And what can we start to look forward to as the coach of Ohio? We currently have the spot atop of the MAC. We are 6-2, and Akron ended up losing, so we have the head-to-head against everyone except for Kent State, who will be our next game and are essentially play-in to the MAC championship. So, I will see you guys in that video. Please do like the video if you are new. Subscribe if you are new as well. It always helps the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, and of course, goodbye.